Hello and welcome to Dabbling in Journals. I am really excited today because I have an unboxing. My partner has really kindly bought me a gift and I'm so excited to see it. And whilst it might not be of interest to many of the people that usually watch my videos, there may be other people in YouTube land that would like to see the contents of this box, and I can't wait. I am so excited. Okay, so I've just covered up my address and I'm just gonna open it up. And here we go. And this is like a tarot cards by a artist in America. She's designed the cards. Her artwork, I think, is absolutely amazing. So we've got here her little card. Don't know how to pronounce her name, but you can see it there, Sam, and there's her information. And I watched some videos of her actually producing this artwork and I was in awe. And I'm so excited to see it. And we have another card here. These obviously will be going in my journal because I'm a journaler. But I do love tarot cards. I find them very inspiring and they're all so different, and I can't get into it. So we've got a box here. It was very safely packaged and it's got sort of like plastic. I don't know why they have to do this. Plastic on everything these days. Okay, and it's a beautiful box with her artwork on the front, gold details on the side. It's called the Blood Moon Tarot, and there's a little bit of information on the back, but let's open it up. I don't really want to break the box so that I don't keep my cards in a box. Oh no, more plastic. Okay, we have more plastic. They've got gold edges, so I won't have to colour in my edges. Right, and so here we have the beautiful backs. They are reversible. And here we have a little sort of thank you card on the top. And it looks like they're not in order. Okay, so I've put my new deck in order because I thought it would be nicer to look at it in order. I'm going to just say a little something about the tarot for those of you who watch my channel but don't know very much about tarot. And I'm no expert. I've only recently become interested in tarot, but I find it so inspiring, both because it's thought-provoking and because of the beautiful artwork. And then I will compare this first card, the full card, with some of the first cards from my other decks because I thought that would be interesting. And then I'll pop on some music and I will flip through this deck so that you can see the artwork if you're interested. Okay, so there are different systems of tarot, I believe, but one that's very popular is the Rider-Waite-Smith system. It's based on this deck. So this is the first card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and the system consists of 22 major cards. Each represents a universal aspect of human experience. So it might be a character trait like strength. Strength is something that can be manifested by people of any age, race, gender, culture, and what have you. So it's a universal character trait. And whilst other cards focus on individuals who represent a particular approach to life, for example, the Hermit or the Devil. Now, many people view these cards as showing different stages of an individual's personal growth. So each time you purchase a tarot deck, as well as getting the cards, which will have different imagery on them depending on the artist, you also usually get a guidebook which interprets the cards for you. They're not all the same. There are similarities between the way that people interpret the cards, but there are also interesting and sometimes subtle differences. Now, as well as your 22 major cards, you also get minor cards. and they are divided into 4 suits. Now these suits sometimes have different names. So in this original version, they're called Wands, Cups, Swords and Pentacles. And the minor cards show characters living their day-to-day life in different contexts, depending again on the artist. And the Wands focus on creativity and action, whilst the Cups focus on people experiencing different emotions. Swords focus on intellect, thought, reasoning, that kind of more intellectual aspect of life. And Pentacles focus on practical material concerns of life. Now it's interesting that in this deck, the Blood Moon Tarot, she has changed the name of the suits. And I haven't read the guidebook yet, so I don't know why she's done that. But she calls Wands skins, Cups she calls songs, Swords she calls dreams, and Pentacles she calls honey. So I'm interested to find out what that change in name is going to add to this deck. So here then we have the Fool card. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck you can see the traditional image of a fool holding a white rose with a knapsack over his shoulder, little white dog, which seems to be trying to warn him that he's about to step off a cliff because he's not looking where he's going. So very much the notion of new beginnings, spontaneity, perhaps a little bit foolhardy, because it would be good if he was looking where he was going, or she, I don't know which that is. And then in Blood Moon Tarot we can see a completely different kind of image. We've got this tiny little person that seems to be coming from a place of darkness through a huge but narrow doorway, where beyond we can see a world which is much lighter and obviously new. So again we've got this idea of new beginnings, and I can see all kinds of different hands gesturing in different ways around that doorway, and perhaps they're giving her advice or him advice. I don't know, but I just think it's a really beautiful image and very different, as you can see, from the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith one. Now here I have one from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and here the Fool is represented by a little chick. It's a baby bird, isn't it? So again we've got this idea of new beginnings, lots of potential. So if you start something new, you've got the potential to achieve who knows what. You don't know before you start unless you've got a definite goal in mind, but this one obviously it's going to feel its potential of flourishing in its life. And perhaps that's what all of us are trying to do, is to lead a flourishing life. And that's what we're aiming for. In this deck, which is the Hidden Realm, the depictions are all of fairies, and there's lots of emotional expressions conveyed in this beautiful watercolour artwork. I really love this deck. And here we've got the Fool represented as somebody who is just taking the time to enjoy all the little new experiences of life. So as we go on our journey, we had our initial Fool that was looking distracted. This one looks a bit distracted too. But it's the same when you go out into the world with young children. They spot so many things that you don't notice because you take everything for granted. Whereas young children who are exploring their world with much more attention, they can spot all kinds of things and ask questions about them. And I get that sort of feeling of innocence and joy in small moments from that card. This is the Lightseers Tarot, and here this is very similar to our Rider-Waite-Smith Fool in that she looks like she's about to come off a cliff, although she is holding on and she looks like she's enjoying the moment, but at the same time she's perhaps being a little foolhardy because she might fall off. So there's risks when you start something new. You're taking a risk, but that risk can be very worthwhile. In this one, whereas this original tarot had a lot of Christian imagery in it, this tarot deck, which is the Greenwich Tarot, has much more pagan imagery in it. So we've got a green man here, but you can still see the little Fool with the little white dog and the stick. So even though the artwork interprets the cards using pagan context rather than a Christian context, the same kinds of ideas are being explored. This is one of my favourite decks. Here we've got beautiful oil paintings by Cilla Conway, and this is the Shimmering Veil Tarot. And again we can see the Fool is so entranced by a butterfly that he looks as if, or she, I don't know why I would say he or she looks like she's about to step off a cliff. And what's interesting in this deck is at the end of the major arcana, she adds an extra card, and I haven't studied this one yet, so I'm not sure what its significance is, but here we see, rather than this pale ghost like figure, we've got a much richer use of colour, and I'm looking forward to finding out what the artist's intention was with that. But it looks like a complete transformation to me from the beginning of the journey to the end of the journey, so that's interesting. Similarly, in this deck, which is the Witch's Wisdom, the deck does have the sort of major cards but puts them in reverse order. So here the journey, instead of starting from a place of innocence and newness, the journey starting with the figure leaving behind a burning city, so leaving behind lots of baggage, still carrying some of it on her back but leaving lots of it behind. So this one always makes me think about a healing journey where you've got lots of problems and baggage and bad memories and traumas, and you're trying to heal from them. And by the end of the journey, the Fool, who's called the Pilgrim in this deck, the Fool has got rid of all their baggage, looks like she's at one with nature, she's looking happy, and so that's why I often use this deck when I want to do reflection on self-healing. I've got a couple more to show you. So this one is a very different kind of artwork again. It's computer generated, so photo manipulation, I believe. Absolutely beautiful. And here we've got the child representing the Fool. And again, we've got this notion of joy in life. She's playing a musical instrument, but we've got that innocent beginning to something new, starting something new. And the last one, this is the Tarot de la Nuit. There's lots of kind of vampires and dark images in this one. And here again, we've got digital artwork, which is very beautiful. Okay, so I've compared some of those first cards, and I want to flip through now my new deck so that you can see the images in that if you're interested. They do seem very dark, but having said that, the guidebook, which I have in digital format, is absolutely excellent, and I think I'm going to really love working with this deck. So let's have a look at the cards. So I hope you enjoyed that quick flip through of the cards. I will be using these cards in my journaling videos, as well as some of my other cards, of course. And if anybody has any questions or is interested, or there's anything they would like me to show, just let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye.